Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Pat Gray Unleashed, sponsored by ExpressVPN. Surf the web with peace of mind. Sign up now at expressvpn.com/unleashed. Well, anybody getting sick of the coronavirus yet?
Oof.
Just a teeny bit. Just a little bit tired of it.
It has changed society forever in one way or another. It's just a matter of figuring out how much it's going to change us.
Yeah, I think a lot of the things we're going through are going to turn out to be permanent. They're saying this might be seasonal. So, does that mean you go through it every year? Probably not, because eventually they'll have a vaccine. Then you'll take the vaccine, and so you can go out and you can be around people and not get it, right? That would be the hope and the prayer that if this thing does turn out to be seasonal, that it comes back every stinking year. Of course, they usually morph, too, and get weaker. They usually get weaker rather than stronger. So there's that. But I feel a little bit like, so it was Star Trek 3, maybe?
Sure.
Where the Klingon guy that's been trying to kill Kirk the entire movie, the planet that the two of them are on, battling together, they're fighting each other as it's disintegrating around them.
Is it Gowron? Is that his name?
Maybe.
That was just a quick Google of Star Trek
Maybe.
3. Oh, no, I'm told no down the hall. Rob says.
Rob will know because he's
snuffed me out.
He's a Trekkie.
Okay, so anyway, so what happened? They're on this planet, they're fighting.
So anyway, they're fighting, and the planet's disintegrating.
Oh,
right?
No.
And the ground is collapsing right from underneath them.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler for a 30-year-old movie. Spoiler alert. So the ground itself is just disintegrating, and now there's a huge chasm. There's a chasm now. They're not shouting out across that chasm, but they're hanging on.
Yeah.
And the Klingon falls, and Kirk actually tries to save him.
Whoa.
And rather than just be saved, the Klingon tries to pull Kirk with him.
Oh, snap.
So Kirk decides, okay, now I'm going to kill this guy.
Yeah.
And he starts kicking him in the face. And at the same time saying, I have had enough of you. That's kind of where I am with COVID-19.
Oh, yeah,
right now.
Absolutely.
It's sort of where I am.
And honestly, we're the lucky ones, man.
It's a long
we get
way
to
to the well.
escape our houses every day.
I know. That's true.
I am sorry if you are stuck at home. And I am even more sorry if this has already cost you your livelihood. This is a mess, man.
It really is.
And, Congress obviously working on that. Late last night.
The Senate passed the bill, whatever the bill is. I think some details are out, but not all. And they passed it. The House is considering it now. They're going to vote on it.
Yeah, so it passed last night.
Some of the fun details. Do we have some of the fun?
Yeah, they're over there in your stack there. But the House will consider this Friday morning at 9 a.m. Steny Hoyer says that they're going to get to work on that.
Oh, we're not doing it today?
But no. And the thing is, they're not even going to have like a regular vote. They're not even going to call the members because they know that all the members aren't going to be coming back and all this stuff. Mm-hmm. So they're just going to do a voice vote, and no one's going to be on the record. The Senate's on the record, 96-0 last night. They passed that, and the details, include.
Yeah, and it's a $2 trillion stimulus package, so it's not that much. Again, it's not a quadrillion.
And remember, it's more so with the with all the loans and stuff. So anyhow,
whatever. It goes up to $6 trillion with the loans.
So you're getting some checks coming your way.
So key elements of the proposal: $250 billion set aside for direct payments to individuals and families. $250 billion. $350 billion in small business loans, and $250 billion in unemployment insurance benefits, and $500 billion in loans for distressed companies. Under the plan, individuals who earn $75,000 in adjusted gross income or less would get direct payments of $1,200 each, with married couples earning up to $150,000 receiving $2,400, and additional $500 per child. The payment would scale down by income, phasing out entirely at $99,000 for singles and $198,000 for couples without children.
And this will be based on your 2018 taxable income. So there we go. Now, I think this is, we're throwing free money at Americans, but, we had a sweeter deal Bloomberg was promising, right? Or it could have done, according to MSNBC, right? We could have gotten $1 million each under his, take all of his wealth and distribute it properly.
Right. If you just take the money that he paid
on his campaign,
in campaign, because he spent $500 million, right? And there's 320 million Americans.
Yeah.
So that's obviously $1 million apiece.
Right. So we could have done a lot better under the MSNBC Bloomberg campaign funds plan.
Judy in Pennsylvania, by the way, that's just $1.50 apiece. Okay. So don't get excited.
It is?
Yeah. Just $1.50.
Really? Mm-hmm. Huh. Mm-hmm. I mean, Brian Williams, he was really confident.
He was. He was confident.
Don't skip ahead here.
Don't do the math ahead of us. Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry. I already have, and that doesn't add up to $1 million.
And I don't know when you get this money. I know originally, like a week ago, they were talking about April 6th and May 18th were your 2 key days to check your bank accounts. I don't know how
I don't think we're on that timetable anymore.
I don't know what that's going to be like now, but there you go.
Push back a tad. But yeah, some businesses are going to get this, and obviously the airline industry, which is hard hit. I don't know if they're going to give money to the hard hit cruise industry, but I would imagine so. I don't know how they decide who they're going to bail out and who they're not going to.
Well, one of the dangerous provisions in this thing, and I'm pretty sure it stayed alive in the final draft, was that if you take this money and you have employees that want to unionize, you cannot stop them. So this is one of those ways that the coronavirus is changing us on the other side.
Mm-hmm. It's also conditional on not firing your employees. Mm-hmm. So you can't lay people off. If you take this money, they're telling you, okay, but you can't. We're going to give you this money, but you can't be laying off employees with it.
Yeah, and yesterday, Lindsey Graham, Ben Sass, Tim Scott, and Rick Scott all held a press conference because they saw something in the bill. They were like, oh my gosh, this can't be right. We're going to pay people much more than they were making while they were working. We're going to pay them much more unemployment. And they thought, they tried to give the benefit of the doubt. Oh, I guess it was a drafting error. I'm sure it was. I'm sure it wasn't put in there intentionally. And Lindsey Graham, I don't know if you want to play the video. He held a press conference and he explained why they had to stop this.
We'll know in about an hour as to whether or not this is a drafting error. I hope they're right, but I'm concerned. Let me tell you why. Under this proposal that they agreed to last night, on unemployment, you would be making $24.07 an hour in South Carolina. There are a lot of jobs in South Carolina that do not pay $24.07. This bill pays you more not to work than if you were working.
Oh.
Very few people are going to turn down a $24 deal not to work. To work for 15. If this is not a drafting error, then it's the worst idea I've seen in a long time, and that's saying a lot given the fact we're in Washington. To my Democratic colleagues, I have been one of your strongest supporters for upping unemployment insurance. But I never in my wildest dream believed that we would incentivize people to stop working, to take unemployment, by increasing unemployment wages to $24 an hour.
You never dreamed? Come on, please. Where have you been? What, are you born yesterday? Jeez.
So at the 11th hour...
They fixed it?
No, they did not.
They did not fix it.
They put forth an amendment. And, of course, Bernie Sanders mocked them and said something like, oh, the horror. They're going to earn more money. So, anyway, it got defeated, that amendment.
Oh, yeah, that's ridiculous.
And it passed 96-0. Oh, by the way, the Kennedy Center funds that we were mocking, yeah, Trump said that he personally signed off on that because they need the money.
That was like a couple $100 million, $600 million, $500 million. That was hundreds of millions of dollars.
Good stuff
for
right?
the Kennedy Center.
Mm-hmm. Well, the president says
that's
he signed off
unbelievable.
on that personally because they need the money.
Come on now. That's unbelievable.
Here we are. Yay. Everybody gets something, right? But anyway, there you go. So it passes the Senate 96-0. You'll recall that Rand Paul, Mitt Romney, Mike Lee.
With the provision that they make more money than they would have if they were actually working.
Yes.
That passed.
Yeah, because that amendment got defeated.
That's unreal. Okay.
So,
but we did pass up. Well, apparently we've passed up a really good idea from Rashida Tlaib.
Oh no! What did we miss out on?
I can't believe they didn't put this all on hold yesterday in the Senate and say, wait a minute. Rashida has something here that we really need to consider.
Okay.
Her plan would cost about $2 trillion. Here's what she proposes.
Sounds reasonable so far.
Right. It's the same amount of money.
I mean, we've been down this road. That's old school.
Yeah. She's going to pay for it, though. This is going to be paid for by ordering the U.S. Mint to issue 2 $1 trillion platinum coins. So we're gonna print up these. We're gonna mint a couple of really expensive coins, each of them worth $1 trillion, and that will pay for. And then we put those back in the Treasury after we give them the loan of the paper money. The plan includes sending debit cards preloaded with $2,000 for everyone in the country, kids and adults alike, and then recharging every card with $1,000 per month until a year after the end of the coronavirus crisis.
Oh, because there's an end? You open the show saying we might have this forever.
Right, but we're just assuming.
We're assuming, okay.
Okay, we're just assuming. And so every person in the United States would receive $2,000 and then another $1,000 a month for a year or so. The debit cards could be used online, in stores, or to pull cash out of ATMs. Oh, and the government would require that all fees connected to the cards be waived. So your free money would be even more free than usual. You don't even have to pay at a foreign ATM. And she promised her plan would add nothing to the U.S. debt. Instead of issuing debt, which we would not do.
There we go.
The program would be funded directly from the Treasury.
Those coins that you buy, the 1-800 numbers.
Using its legal authority to create money via coin seigniorage, which is a statutory delegation of Congress's constitutional power of the purse, she said.
I am very sad right now.
So her bill will have the Treasury order the U.S. Mint to issue the $1 trillion platinum coins.
And this getting traction?
Are you kidding me?
A lot of people jumping on board with this?
Love this idea. They love this idea. The Fed would then credit the U.S. Mint $2 trillion and retain ownership of the 2 coins forever. Then the Treasury Secretary would sweep the newly created reserve funds from the Mint's account into the regular Treasury General account, and voila.
This is a bad morning for the coffee machine to be broken down the hall.
Money for everyone. I love this.
Oh, no.
That's unbelievable.
And then one day, is that coin, those coins going to turn up in like a coin shop? And
a couple of experts sounded off afterwards.
What'd they say?
And one of them said, okay, you're going to print these $2 trillion platinum coins. They would each have to weigh over 50,000 tons in platinum.
So they would not be in the coin shop.
That's a heavy coin.
Yeah. How much would you take for this this coin here? $1 trillion.
$1 trillion. Yeah.
No, seriously. How much would you take for this coin right here? $1 trillion.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Rashida.
That'd be a little bit heavy in your pocket. The 50,000 ton $1 trillion coin. I'm not sure there's a lot of jeans. You could put that in. The pockets would be able to.
That's a James K. Polk fun fact. Is the reason we had more paper money when he was president. I have to look this up and verify it, but his wife would go shopping, and she hated carrying all the coins around. Mm-hmm. James K. Polk stepped up and
did paper?
Yeah, something like that. I remember learning that fun fact during the Pat and Stu days when we were going through that book.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that would be a heavy coin.
A heavy coin.
And this nation is.
We've got geniuses like that in office. She noodled that out, I think, all by herself.
Has Minnesota had their primary yet? And does she have a challenger?
We'll have to look into that. I don't know.
Well, it's necessary.
Yeah. All right. Let me tell you about Patriot Mobile. Obviously, we're in the fight for our lives right now. And a lot of people are trying to politicize this crisis. But most of us are just trying to stick together as a family here. And Patriot Mobile would like to help. So during this time of social distancing, Patriot Mobile is helping Americans stay connected by reducing all their pricing for a limited time. They have plans that start as low as $25 with an unlimited plan for only $55. There's never been a better time to join the Patriot Mobile family. Call 972-PATRIOT. That's 972-PATRIOT, or visit patriotmobile.com/Pat. Use the promo code PAT for free activation and a free gift. Keep your number. Get a new one if you want. You can keep your phone or you can get a new one. And you get the same nationwide service. Everybody uses the same cell towers, and Patriot Mobile's no exception. Patriot Mobile was founded by freedom-loving Americans who share your values. And they provide you with an easy way to support pro-life causes, Second Amendment, religious freedom, and you can do that with every single call you make. 972-PATRIOT or patriotmobile.com/Pat.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
So Pat, I misspoke. You know, when I said, "Hey, when's Minnesota's primary?" Of course, I meant Michigan with Rashida Tlaib. She does have a serious opponent in the Democratic primary, and this person Jones only lost 31-30 to Tlaib the last go around 2 years ago.
Oh wow!
Would you like a fun fact about this Jones character?
Sure.
She's a really big fan of Louis Farrakhan.
Oh, good.
So that district is well served either way.
Yeah.
Oof. Oof, oof, oof.
Do they have a serious Republican contender in the general election? That would be interesting to check into as well.
Yeah.
Probably don't have a chance, right?
Yeah, don't be ridiculous.
They probably don't have a chance.
I don't know yet. Anyhow,
okay.
There you go. Brenda Jones.
Nice.
Brenda Jones or Rashida Tlaib. Pick your poison, Michigan, whatever district. I don't know what number that is.
That's really pathetic of you. I can't believe you don't know Rashida Tlaib's Michigan district.
Okay.
Really, really awful.
Well, shoot.
Kind of buffoon are you?
Yeah. 13th. 13th.
Okay, thank
Lucky
you.
13.
888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Los Angeles Mayor is Eric Garcetti threatening to cut off people's water if they disobey orders.
Here we go. See, this is these scenarios we've always talked about.
Yep.
What does it matter if the power company has direct access to a smart meter? What, are they going to turn your power off?
Yes.
Ta-da!
No, you can't imagine the scenario when it happens and you're in good times. But then when things get tough, you find out what those scenarios are, where they take control of things that they have no business controlling.
We are no longer living in a world of hypotheticals.
Well, it's just not America either. If you can do this kind of stuff, like they're threatening in Chicago. Another threat. If you leave your house
if you go outside,
exercise,
if you just go outside,
you can be arrested.
Man, we were making fun of London or Britain yesterday,
right? With
Boris Johnson saying you can go outside one time per day to exercise.
Yeah,
and here in Chicago, so help me, you step foot outside,
you're going to be arrested.
We're going to haul you off.
What?
But these prisons, they have room to put these scofflaws.
Well, they do because they let a lot of the criminals
they're
go.
emptying them out.
Yeah. They let the criminals go. So now if you go out and exercise, they can arrest you.
They had to make room for us.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It's crazy. Again, this is why I'm asking the question. Are we giving up our freedom for our safety? And are you okay with it? This is what we have to decide right now. Right now, because it's happening. It's on. Are we okay with it? If we see, here's what the mayor said, Garcetti. This is the son of the guy who was the L.A. prosecutor in the OJ case. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Eric Garcetti, if we see continued non-compliance, they'll wind up facing misdemeanor charges, and the Department of Water and Power will step in and shut off their water and power, Garcetti said. You know who you are. You need to stop it. This is your chance to step up and shut it down, because if you don't, we'll shut you down. Oh, okay. Thank you, Führer. Mein Führer, I appreciate the warning. Thank you so much. Wow. Calling such businesses that don't voluntarily shut their doors irresponsible and selfish, Garcetti unveiled the city's Business Ambassadors program. Neighborhood prosecutors will implement safety measures and contact non-compliant businesses before the city flips the switches on them.
Wow.
Yeah, that's nice of you. The easiest way to avoid a visit is to follow the rules. You will comply. Yes? We have ways of making you comply. I can't believe... Can we see your papers, please? You're standing outside, Doomkopf. Do you have your papers? Let me see. I'm somewhere here. Oh, no, you know what? I don't. I thought this was the United States of America. I guess I took a wrong turn and wound up in Nazi Germany or Soviet Russia. Where am I right now? I can't even tell. But that's where we are. It's just really amazing. And it's because you might get sick.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to read this, but this morning somebody sent me this article. The headline of the article from The Atlantic is, Red and Blue America agree that now is the time to violate the Constitution. People of both parties seem rather okay with undermining core civil liberties in order to fight the pandemic.
And where was that? Where did you see that?
It's The Atlantic. I have not read the article. That's just the headline.
And I'm sure that's written from a positive point of view, that we should be okay with it.
Okay, no.
In The Atlantic, I bet it is.
Yeah.
They're pretty liberal.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Yeah, we just got to comply. That's all. Just comply. In Virginia, there's another one. Governor Northam making it a crime to assemble. An executive order issued by Mr. Blackface, Virginia Governor Ralph Northam, makes it a crime for anyone to gather in groups of larger than 10 people, and that includes churches. Information from the Virginia Department of Health reveals occurrences of the virus in every region of the Commonwealth. Indeed, the data suggests that in several regions there may be community spread of the virus. Now, we must take additional long-term action to mitigate the impacts. So the executive order is that gatherings of 10 or more people prohibited, closing all K through 12 schools rest of the year, all restaurants, all bar and dine-in services, and closing all recreational and entertainment businesses. Includes typical essential businesses like exemptions include the typical essential businesses like grocery stores, banks, healthcare providers, and pharmacies, but also it does include, in Virginia at least, beer, wine, and liquor stores, so you can still get drunk. I guess it's essential that you're able to get drunk at that time of trouble. That was a
discussion last night on Twitter. That's an essential business. Seriously.
It is.
Keep the masses quelled.
And it actually is in Virginia, so there you go. But you cannot assemble. It's a crime, which is interesting because there was something called the First Amendment. Amendment?
Yeah, you got to brush up on that. I don't know what you're talking about.
Fifth Amendment?
Okay.
First Amendment. That's what it is. Okay, I worked through it. You just sound it out.
Congress shall make no law
respecting an establishment of religion
or
prohibiting the free exercise thereof. Okay, well, that has nothing to do with what we're talking about right now. Or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or the right of the people peaceably to assemble.
But now, look, you could read that so many ways. There's so many ways to interpret that phrase.
Not really.
Sure.
Seems like if you're peaceful, you're not going to be violent. You can get together for any cause, anytime, anywhere.
Okay, well, that's your definition.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not like
Virginia's definition is no, you can't.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know. Nobody's paying attention to the Constitution right now.
Not only would the founding fathers be shocked by that, but they'd be even more shocked that it was happening in Virginia.
Virginia. Yeah. Isn't that ironic? So ironic.
Don't you think?
Yes. I mean, the very author of that document was from Virginia. And James Madison's got to be spinning like a lathe in his grave right now. Just spinning. Because this is, and we so easily gave it up. We just we're just rolling over and playing dead.
George Mason would be spinning more, for the record. James Madison, man, come on. He gets credit. George Mason, he's underrated.
But it was Madison that wrote the Constitution.
Yeah, but George Mason
with
is
Gouverneur Morris. Okay,
but George Mason is the one who was like, we're not signing this stuff until we get a Bill of Rights.
Yeah.
And so they took what they had in Virginia, thanks to Mason. Anyway, we're nerds.
And now we're just, we don't even care what any of them did. Mason, Madison, Jefferson, Washington, doesn't matter what any of them did. We're not paying attention to any of it.
Yep. And
because we're scared.
Here we go. I mean, it's not the Constitution isn't the law of the land. It's whatever it takes to stop the coronavirus is the law of the land.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, that's not the way it's supposed to be. That's not the way it works in the United States of America. You can't just take these rights from people because you think it's good for them. You can't. So, I mean, there's a process. You know, you can change the Constitution. Nobody's done that. So
they don't have to. We just ignore it.
Yeah, that's right.
So 6 months from now, Pat Gray. So what does that put us? Let's just put us in October. October 2020.
Mm-hmm.
How are we doing as a country?
Well,
better, worse, about the same, like your eye doctor?
That depends. That depends on where the virus is. Everything depends right now on the virus. Because if the virus is worse, we're going to have zero freedoms by October. None. We will have absolutely used the Constitution as kindling for a fire by October, if this thing keeps going exponentially like it has been. And
is that your take also on who wins in November, just based on what the virus is doing?
I don't know. I don't know that anybody blames Trump. His approval rating's gone up.
Yeah.
But when we start hurting from the economic downturn, maybe that changes things for him. I don't know. We'll see.
This is a very...
Because there will be pain from this. There's going to be pain.
This is going to go down as one of the most pivotal years in America's existence.
No question. And it's taken just... I mean, it's not like this is nothing, but it has a mortality rate of about 2%. It's like 0.6% in Germany. So somehow they've mitigated even the mortality rate. I don't know how that's happened there. But it's not the most deadly thing we've ever seen, that's for sure.
Right.
It's not like Ebola. It's not like smallpox. It's not like the Black Plague. And it's this. It's a severe flu, and this is wiping out our constitutional rights.
This is I think the coronavirus is really, I think it'd be better named the Rahm Emanuel virus. Because this is the crisis that they're not going to let go to waste in Washington, D.C.
Yep. And we're not so much as putting up any sort of fight whatsoever. We're not even raising the objection for the most part. We just, okay, we're going to stay in my house. All right. I can't go anywhere. Okay.
When's my check get here?
We haven't even held out for that. We've rolled over even before the check comes.
Oh, man.
So, I mean, that's about as easy as it gets for a people who are pretty used to freedom. 888-900-3393.
That's a good start today, huh?
Yeah, it's fun.
It's fun. We got a dog video later. Maybe we can get to that.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, we are making the apocalypse fun, so we'll make sure we do that coming up here on Pat Gray Unleashed. Not to put too fine a point on this, but it's not like this is something ambiguous. You know, some ambiguous little known clause in some section of the Constitution that nobody knows is there. I mean, you're talking about the First Amendment, where it specifically spells out that we have the right to assemble. And that's exactly what they're telling us we don't have a right to do. And you'll be arrested for it.
Yeah, as Steve 42 says,
Wow.
it's no longer the
Okay.
Bill of Rights, it's the Bill of Suggestions.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't hold us to this. I mean, the Constitution was ratified in 1791. It's been in force 229 years now. And Ralph Northam can just eliminate it overnight. Huh. Without a vote, without the federal action, he could just do that in Virginia, just eliminate it overnight, supersede the Constitution of the United States of America. Huh. Again, huh. I wouldn't have guessed that. I guess I should have, but I wouldn't have, and I didn't. Let's see. We got some tweets in from Notion Mongerer. It's like the president who notion mongers. Yes, I am sick of the Wuhan virus, Pat, but not literally sick, Judy. I said that because I don't have the virus, booger. Wow. Tying in all kinds of topics from yesterday.
Covering all the ground.
That's fun. Texas Lori D. You know, hashtag Wuhan virus has gotten to Pat Gray Unleashed when he starts referencing the documentary series Star Trek. Yes, that's true. Yeah, that was a long way to the well.
It worked.
It did it? All right.
Ish.
Well, felt like it at the time. Kristen, I'm in Connecticut. I've been working at home. Just found out one of my coworkers at the office has it. Yeah, great. Excluded Wu handout recipient.
I like it.
I think I'm going to be excluded of that too. That kind of pisses me off. I want some free money. How come I don't get free money? I coined a phrase for this $2 trillion bailout. I call it Wu handout. I like that. Wu handout. Kevin Davis replying to Keith Melinek. So no coffee in sports. What's next?
Right?
I don't know.
You don't want to know what's next. Because
yeah.
we've never been there.
That's for sure.
And I know it'll be a dark day if I don't get some caffeine and sugar in me.
A guy from Ohio says, what if you had a child in 2020? Does that child not count?
I don't think so. This is all your 2018 stats. Check your...
It's not right. It's not. That cost me $500 then, right?
Oh, wow. You had a kid move out? Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
No, I got kids moving back in.
Oh,
so
wait. I got you now. Sorry, I had to do the math there. Keith math is slow, especially without coffee.
Yeah, we got a house load right now. We just kind of gathered all our chicks back under our wings.
Oh, that's cute. In 2018, did you have any
In 2018?
in your house?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
so they're worth a little something.
Yeah.
You got a little something there.
Also, Lord help us, the butt stupidity is spreading through Congress faster than the China virus is spreading around the world. No kidding. You know, and then we got people like Nancy Pelosi just flat out lying, just lying through her teeth about.
She can keep them in her head.
Yeah, that's not enough denture grip. Maybe they were running out of that at the grocery stores. I don't know. I haven't looked.
Only one Polident per customer, please.
We can't get toilet paper, water, and we can't get denture grip. Dang it! Darn it! Dang! All right, here's what she had to say, though, about the president. She's just flat out lying here.
Outstanding. What is remaining that you want changed?
Well, I'm not going to negotiate on TV, but I want to have a unanimous consent. I want us to be able to go forward, not as, you know, it's not a bill I would have written in terms of some things that relate to family medical leave, that relate to worker protections, that ruling on worker protections, but that can be done administratively. We can find other ways. Not enough money for elections, et cetera, at this time. Everything we're suggesting just relates to COVID-19.
Stop.
It's not about making...
Everything we're suggesting just relates to COVID-19. Just a flat-out lie. Just an absolute bald-faced lie. And we outlined a whole bunch of stuff yesterday that does not relate to COVID-19. I'm looking for that list here, and I can't, of course, find it this second. But there were all kinds of things that were completely unrelated to COVID-19. A bailout for the U.S. Postal Service. What does that have to do with COVID-19? Student loan debt forgiveness. Required same-day voter registration.
Ugh, that one.
Airline emission standards regulations. Stop it. That has nothing to do with it. Study on climate change migration, collective bargaining provisions, increased federal minimum wage for companies that accept government loans, and publication of race and pay statistics for corporate boards. None of those things are related
There you go.
to the virus.
This is what colleges, this is the lesson they've learned.
And
You take a dime
Yep.
of government money, then congratulations, you're beholden.
Just a lying sack is what she is. Then you got Adam Schiff, who actually tells more of what the truth is. Here's what he says about all the pork in the bill.
Well, look, I think what they're really focused on is we want to make sure that we protect not only the health of the economy, but the health of our democracy.
Okay.
And for that reason, we want to make sure that we provide that people can vote by mail and have early voting. We saw the fiasco in Ohio. We don't want that repeated. And I think what Donald Trump would like, what Mitch McConnell would like, is a situation where they can create a corporate slush fund that they can do with as they choose.
Stop. I can't take it anymore. A trillion white-hot burning suns. A trillion white-hot burning suns. That's the passion with which I loathe him. A, this is not a democracy. And B, these things have nothing to do with the health of our republic. In fact, they have to do with bringing it down, and they know it. I mean, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make us even with the rest of the world because we're uneven right now, and they want to bring us down to everybody else's level. And that's what they've been trying to do this for years, and they're starting to succeed thanks to the virus and some really radical people in office. 888-900-3393 and at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Republicans are on board with it. Democrats are on board with it. Do we know how Mike Lee voted on this bill yesterday?
He voted.
96 to nothing.
Present.
He didn't vote, did he?
He is in quarantine.
Right. That's right. There was rumor that he was going to show up in the hazmat suit. He obviously didn't do that, right?
Well, I'm just assuming he's still in lockdown.
I'm assuming at 96 to nothing he wasn't there because I don't think he would have voted for this thing. But who knows?
I will try to find an exact count of the 4 that we're missing, just to make sure.
It must be the 4. Must be the 4 that we've been talking about that were in quarantine.
What? Rand Paul, Mike Lee, Mitt Romney. Who's the 4th?
And then there was somebody else. I forget who. Anyway, 96 to nothing vote. There's a lot of Republicans voting for that bill, for that $2 trillion bill. Lots and lots of Republicans. Every one of them who was there voted for it. Nobody's saying a peep about it.
John Thune is not feeling well.
Oh, he's not?
So he wasn't there. And yeah, we were right about the other 3.
But John Thune had the body of a Greek god.
Right, you'd expect him to be able to power through.
Remember what Arlen Specter had to say in his book about John Thune.
I do.
I was in the Senate bathhouse when John Thune walked in naked as a jaybird. He had the body of a Greek god.
There's a lot to address there, and it's not just on Arlen Specter. When you go to the gym or something like that, remember back in the days when you could go to a gym and they weren't just shuttered? Walking around naked as a jaybird, I don't care for that. I don't need to see anybody walking around naked as a jaybird. Pretty soon, though, he wasn't walking around. He got into the Senate bath. We made tender love for the next 14 days. 14 days? Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's his book. I don't know.
Okay.
Not an exact quote. I'm just paraphrasing a few lines.
It's been a while since you read it.
It's been a while since I read it.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think that's close. All right, let me tell you about Genesis 950. If you're thinking of replacing your carpets due to pet stains and odors, you got to try Genesis 950. Seriously, this stuff really, really works. Before you consider replacing your carpet, Genesis 950 is an amazing pet stain remover, and it's made in America. So it's not going to arrive via Amazon from China, and you're wondering, does this have COVID all over it? You don't have to worry about that. With water, Genesis breaks down the bonds of stains, so they're gone for good. Its antibacterial component removes pet stains from carpeting and padding. It can be used in a carpet cleaning machine. It's so green. It's safe for your family and pets even after you've used it, so you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to vacate the house for a while after you use it. If you're tired of pet cleaners that don't work, it is really time to try Genesis 950. 1 gallon of the industrial strength Genesis 950 can make up to 7 gallons of cleaner. This is going to last you a really long time. Genesis 950, not just for pet stains either. You can clean your entire house, bathrooms and kitchens, countertops, granite, quartz, garage floors. It's great on oil and grease stains, engines, wheels, tools. Before you purchase a new carpet, you got to try Genesis 950. It's available on Amazon.com, but if you order a gallon direct at Genesis950.com, you'll get a free spray bottle and discount using the offer code BLAZE. That's Genesis950.com.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
888-933-93. So, Joe Biden. Some issues developing very quickly here. First of all, he claims to be a professor at Penn, University of Pennsylvania. He's an Ivy League professor. I didn't know if you were aware of that.
Joe Biden?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. He apparently is telling everybody now that when he left the Senate, he became a professor at Penn. Well, wait. I thought when you left the Senate, you became vice president of the United States. Huh? Did you do both for a while? How did that work exactly?
But when I left the United States Senate, I became a professor at the University of Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And I've spent a lot of time, and the University of Delaware has the Biden School there as well.
Okay.
So I spent a lot of time on campus with college students. But it's not just...
Okay. No, that's not true. He didn't become a professor at Penn. Never taught a class. He got some honorary thing from Penn, but he wasn't a professor there.
So he wasn't offered the job of vice president and said, no. If I'm leaving the Senate, I'm not taking the number 2 job in the land.
I want to teach.
Yeah. I have a love for students learning.
He actually didn't, no. So kind of strange.
Wow, that's odd.
Then he's run into some even more trouble. A woman who was on his staff back in 1993 is accusing him of sexual assault. Apparently, she went to deliver a gym bag to him.
Called me in and said, I want you to take this to Joe. He wants it. He wants you to bring it. Hurry. I said, okay. And it was a gym bag. She said, take the gym bag. She called it athletic bag. And, she said he was down towards the Capitol and he'll meet you.
This is Tara Reid, who was, a
staffer
in on the Senate staff in 1993, and she grabs this gym bag that I don't know, the manager, the campaign worker, somebody told her, somebody from the office said, take this to Joe. So she did, and here's what happened.
And so I went down, and I was heading down towards there, and he was at first talking to someone. I could see him at a different distance, and then they went away. And then we were in like the side. It was like the side area, and he just said, "Hey, come here, Tara." And then I handed him the thing, and he greeted me. He remembered my name, and then we were alone, and it was the strangest thing. There was no like exchange really. He just had me up against the wall, and I was wearing like a skirt and business skirt, but I wasn't wearing stockings. It was kind of a hot day that day, and I was wearing heels. And I remember my legs had been hurting from the marble, of the Capitol, like walking. And so I remember that kind of stuff. I remember like I was wearing a blouse, and he just had me up against the wall, and the wall was cold. And I remember it happened all at once. The gym bag, I don't know where it went. I handed it to him, it was gone. And then his hands were on me and underneath my clothes. And, and then he went down my skirt, but then up inside it. And he penetrated me with his fingers, whatever. And he was kissing me at the same time, and he was saying something to me. He said several things, and I can't remember everything he said. I remember a couple of things. I remember him saying first, before, like as he was doing it, do you want to go somewhere else? And then him saying to me, when I pulled away, he got finished doing what he was doing, and I kind of was pulled back, and he said, come on, man, I heard you liked me.
Tell me that doesn't sound like him. Come on, man. I mean, that's Joe Biden. That's Joe Biden to a T.
And it's that phrase stayed with me because I kept thinking what I might have said. And I can't remember exactly if he said I thought or if I heard, but it's like he implied like that I had done this. Like, I don't know. And for me, it was like everything shattered in that moment because I knew like we were alone. It was over, right? He wasn't trying to do anything more, but I looked up to him. He was like my father's age. He was this champion of women's rights in my eyes. And I couldn't believe it was happening. It didn't seem, it seemed surreal. And I just felt sick because when he pulled back, he looked annoyed. And he said something else to me that I don't want to say.
She later does say, we'll get into that coming up here in a few minutes. Just amazing and heart-wrenching story about a guy who could be president of the United States. 888-900-3393 and at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. More coming up. Welcome. Great to have you with us. 888-900-3393. Hopefully you're enjoying your sheltering in place. Your mandatory sheltering in place. It's just really, I mean, it's a mandatory suggestion. Okay? I mean, it's not like, well, we're not even considering the Constitution. It's just, but this is for your own good. We just know better than you do. Okay? So just stay in your house. Don't leave it for any reason. I mean, if you need food, maybe you can go there for a minute, but we're going to follow you there and back to make sure that you're just going for food.
Well, let's say hypothetically, someone listening right now lives within the city limits of Chicago, Illinois.
Yeah, and they want to go out and maybe exercise.
Again, this is my hypothetical, but let's go with yours there.
Well, you need to be arrested if you're going outside to exercise. You can exercise in your house. Can
I get my mail?
Is it
gray area?
Is it essential mail?
I mean, I don't know until I go and check. It could be a bill that's due. Seriously, we're losing our minds, man.
It's unbelievable. Yeah, I don't know, because you're not supposed to go outside, I guess, for any reason in Chicago. At least in the UK, when Boris Johnson made that announcement, you could go out once for exercise. You can go outside once to exercise. And you go beyond that, then they're going to beat you with clubs and arrest you and put you in prison for the rest of your life. But, I mean, you had it coming because you violated the once per day rule.
Yep.
And, we can't have that.
We warned you.
We have some tweets here from Pat Unleashed. Lori D tweets, the mayor of L.A. has less of an ability to shut off water than Keith and Pat have the ability to shoot an archery target.
All right. Yeah, yesterday was rough, man.
That's a little unkind.
Are you okay? Because you injured yourself. If you missed
I
it,
snapped that
YouTube.com
line on me. It really hurt. It hurt.
/Pat Gray.
Oof.
As our isolation Olympics continued. That was round 6.
It went away, but that left a mark for a while.
Oh no!
But yeah, I was swollen yesterday.
You want to see Pat injure himself? If you had money on me injuring myself, A, that's where the smart money was, but B, you lost your shirt.
Yeah. Mr. Falcon tweets, I used to worry about herd mentality. I should have been worried about flock mentality. From Scintillating Duck. Seriously? You guys are so hung up on that First Amendment thing? You know there's 20-something more of those things that are newer, right? But they're all so old. Yeah, it is. It's true. There's like 26 others that are a little bit newer than the first. Essential motor oils tweets, papers? Papers? We don't need no stinking papers. Actually, you do.
Mm-hmm.
We would like to see the papers, please. Just to make sure that you're essential, that you have a right to be out and go to work, because only certain people can. You imagine? I mean, I was driving through some of the suburbs yesterday on my way home and looking at the parking lots of all of these businesses that are completely empty.
Yeah.
Just completely empty and shut down, closed completely. And you think, well, how long can they survive that?
Yep.
People are getting laid off by the thousands, by the hundreds of thousands right now. It's really awful.
I dared
really awful.
to drive through a drive-through yesterday at a Pizza Hut, and the wait staff was, instead of inside serving customers, they were outside scrubbing the deck furniture at the Pizza Hut.
Wow.
Bad, man.
Yeah, it is bad. And a lot of employers can't afford to just pay their employees indefinitely when they're not open. I don't know what's going to happen here. It's going to be a bloodbath.
And we got this bill, and
that'll help.
Now all of these companies will belong to the federal government.
Yep, and that's true. When you
trade-off,
when you accept the money, yes, you are beholden to them now, and they can tell you what to do, just like they did with the auto industry years ago. Sorry, you're going to make the Chevy Volt. You're going to make millions of them. Well, I don't know that anybody wants them. Yeah, you're going to make them anyway, and they did, and now they're discontinued. From Steve, our constitutional rights are like the painted lines on the freeway. They only work as long as everyone agrees to follow them. Yeah. All right. We were talking about Biden before the break and some of the trouble he's run into. He's got a really serious accuser right now. Her name is Tara Reid, and not the actress, but a staffer on his Senate staff back in 1993. And, you think, well, okay, why did she wait 27 years to come out with this? She says that she delivered a gym bag to him. He took her into some out of the way place at the gym in a stairwell or something, backed her up against a wall, and sexually assaulted her. And then she addresses what it was he said to her that at first she didn't even want to divulge.
And then he said, I must have looked shocked, and he grabbed me by the shoulders. I don't know how I looked, but I must have looked something, because he grabbed me by the shoulders and he said, "You're okay. You're fine. You're okay. You're fine." And then he walked away and he went on with his day. And what I remember next is being in the Russell building, like where the big windows are, and the stairs by myself. And my body, I was shaking everywhere and it was cold all of a sudden. And I don't know, I felt like I was shaking just everywhere. And I was trying to grasp what had just happened.
Do you want to share that thing that you said you don't, like you said, like, I don't want to say what he said, that thing he said to you?
Took his finger, he just like pointed at me and he said, "You're nothing to me." And then he just looked at me and he goes, "You're nothing, nothing." And then I must have reacted. And I think he only said it twice. I said, but I just heard the word nothing. And I must have reacted, because that's when he took me by the shoulders and he said, "You're okay. You're fine. You're okay." But then afterwards, like, it kept replaying in my head.
That's a believable story. And kind of explains why she didn't come forward. She felt like nothing, felt like nobody would believe her, and he was a U.S. senator, and so she dare not take him on. So really, really awful story. 888-900-3393 and at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. We also have some of these some tweets that kind of show what's going on in the world right now, and how we're trying to survive this COVID-19 thing. This one from Pat Hidd Perfect Fit sent this in from his Kroger, and it shows an area of the grocery store. Is this near the pharmacy? because it tells you where to stand and wait in line.
No, man.
Oh, it's at the checkout lines.
Yeah, look at all those aisles.
Yeah, okay. It's at the checkout aisle.
Got to stand feet apart from people. We can't handle this ourselves. We got to have signs pasted everywhere. Stand here. Stand here. Stand here.
I've been at Kroger in this area, and I haven't seen any of that yet. They kind of leave it to you to kind of distance yourself from the person in front of you, and people are without being told where to. I mean, it's amazing that adult human beings can actually noodle that out on their own.
Right, and look at where those stickers are. It's like, I'm not going to stand any closer than that anway.
No,
like,
right.
if you're up in someone's business in line, I mean, that's an issue in of itself on a normal day. Anyhow.
Yeah. But thank you, Kroger, for helping us figure out
and
social distancing.
Right, some of these stores have signs on the door.
Yeah.
Yep.
From Pathead Smirkette, sent this from a business in her town. Due to the coronavirus, the CDC says people should stay 6 feet apart from each other. If you are feeling ill, please stay home and quarantine yourself.
CORN space TEEN.
What? That's embarrassing.
Quarantine yourself.
And quarantine, not quarantine. So somebody has been listening to this the whole time, and they thought, yeah, we should quarantine. We should quarantine right now because that's the only safe way to do it.
I mean, granted, when I was a kid and the weatherman would talk about the wind chill factor, I went outside once and I checked to see how cold the windshield was on my parents' car out in the carport. I mean, that was dumb.
Was it cold?
It was very cold, absolutely. Yeah. The windshield factor was colder than the air temperature. I was about 6 years old, not making signs for businesses.
Hopefully your parents got you checked.
More
very,
times
very hopeful.
than not.
I believe it.
Mm-hmm.
Then we've got a salon.
Yeah, I forgot who sent this
getting
one,
into the spirit of the year 2020.
There you go. That's how you get your hair cut. You strap an umbrella to your body. Cut out some places to look through the eye holes. So you can
see, and then you can get your arms through.
That's dumb.
And then you cut somebody's hair that way.
I really hope that was...
I hope that's a joke.
I really hope so. But you know what? Quarantine. It may not be a joke.
I drove by some, fashionable salons yesterday, and they were some of those that were closed. I don't know how does a salon stay open in this epidemic period. I mean, I wouldn't want to be cutting anybody's hair right now. Would you? Or have your hair cut by somebody who's potentially sick.
No, I see what you did there. Playing games, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I need to go get a haircut ever. So I'm not able to report. I'm sorry.
Very true. Also, some of our superstars are getting involved in what's going on today, and some brilliant minds are sounding off. Britney Spears.
Oh, no.
Comrade Britney. Calling for the redistribution of wealth amid the virus quarantine. This is really good stuff. So she's thought this through. She appeared to have a politically charged message for her 23.6 million Instagram followers. Jeez. She shared a lengthy quote from an individual named Mimi Zhu that, among other things, called for the redistribution of wealth. During this time of isolation, we need connection now more than ever. Call your loved ones. Write virtual love letters. Technologies like virtual communication, streaming, and broadcasting are part of our community collaboration. We will learn to kiss and hold each other through the waves of the web. We will feed each other. Redistribute wealth.
Oh, no.
Strike. We will understand our own importance from the places we must stay. Communion moves beyond walls. We can still be together. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Comrade Britney. Appreciate that. She also captioned the post with "Communion goes beyond walls," and then she used 3 red rose emojis, which has frequently been used as a symbol of democratic socialists.
Uh-oh.
Britney Spears is a democratic socialist? Is she redistributing her wealth? I hope. It starts with you, Puddin'. Okay? It starts with you and the mansions that you live in. As soon as you redistribute your millions to people who don't have anything, why then we'll all follow suit.
Oh, she's only worth $59 million.
$59 million. That seems like a light estimate. She's got to have. She's been around since the mid 90s, right? Late 90s? Making millions of dollars. Also, Jim Carrey is going to grow a beard until the corona's outbreak is over. Okay, that will do it. Jim Carrey will look very different when the coronavirus outbreak is over. The actor posted a selfie on Twitter on Tuesday declaring that he will begin to grow out a beard while social distancing at his home during the pandemic. Day one, I'm growing a beard until we all go back to work. Wow, that's
Until there's 0% unemployment?
Yeah, what a powerful, powerful statement. Thank you, Jim.
Oh, wow.
He's going to post regular pics so we can marvel at the miracle of his meaningless transformation.
Awesome.
That's great. Wow.
Okay, well, it's about time that I shave mine.
Another communist in Hollywood.
Jim Carrey getting on the beard train.
Yeah, that's for sure. All right, 888-900-3393. Then we have this genius, this absolute genius of the guy who went into a Walmart store and take a look what he had to
Who's scared of coronavirus? Don't touch your mouth.
That's brilliant. I mean, that's...
He licks an entire row of deodorant on the shelf.
Why? What is the matter with you? Seriously, what's the matter with you when you do that? It's just sick and twisted and stupid. Show it one more time, because that went by really fast. You got to really soak in the stupidity here. Come on now. Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
I wonder if his tongue smells better now, having licked all the deodorant.
It's been deodorized, so yeah, it probably does. Mm-hmm. Then you got this social media influencer named Lars.
Influencer. Love that word. Ugh.
Well, he influences people.
Does he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's an influencer. 21-year-old Lars went viral this week after he got this from that girl that we showed last week. Remember that? She licked a toilet seat on an airline. So he decides, I'm going to lick a toilet seat too. That's a really good idea. And he did.
Okay. Oh, look. Oh, I'm sure it's the first time he's come into this bathroom. Here we go.
This is really sick. Oh, my gosh.
Careful with
it's
the
a public
kids around.
restroom.
This is gross.
And licks. So it was really funny, I guess, and really cool and really hip, and got him all kinds of views.
Did he influence people?
And he influenced himself right into the hospital with COVID-19. Yeah. Is that amazing? So the guy goes in to make a big splash online and licks a toilet, a public restroom, and obviously didn't disinfect it first like the girl did.
Well, we don't know that. Of course he did.
I don't know.
Oh, come on.
I don't know.
Of course he did. He wants you to believe that was the first time he walked into that bathroom and the camera operator was just in there waiting for him.
Well, how'd he get the virus then?
Well,
maybe from something else.
Anywhere else.
Yeah,
who knows?
Could have.
But I hope he got it from that.
I do too.
Yeah.
Because that's just asinine. You're just a moron, a buffoon. And there's a point where it's thinning of the herd. But the poor guy is now in a hospital, sick enough at 21 years old, by the way, to be in the hospital with COVID-19.
And what's his name? Lars something?
Yeah, Lars.
Lars the loser?
Yeah.
Lars the licker?
I don't know. I don't want to give him any more credit than that.
Well, anyway.
It got 90,000 views, though, before it was yanked off the internet.
Good luck, Lars. Thanks for... it's not like our healthcare professionals aren't overwhelmed enough as it is, which they are doing Herculean efforts around the world.
Yeah, no kidding.
And you don't need to be... why are we stupid? We are collectively the dumbest and the smartest at the same time.
I'll tell you something you can do that's really smart, though, and that's to order some Tommy John underwear, because you're going to be really comfortable then.
Yeah, you are.
You're going to be. It's the most comfortable underwear I've ever had on. When it comes to comfort, there's underwear, and then there's Tommy John, revolutionary clothing brand that redefined comfort for Americans everywhere, including me, including Keith.
Mm-hmm.
It is awesome, and it's such great fabric, and it's just fantastic. The fabric, the fit, the function, the 3 Fs that they give it. Tommy John obsesses over every little detail and stitch by using proprietary fabrics that perform like nothing you've ever worn before. No wedgies. They have a no wedgie guarantee, in fact. Really comfortable. The stay-put waistbands, a whole range of fabrics that are all really luxuriously soft, feather light, moisture wicking, breathable, and designed to move with you, not against you. Tommy John is so confident in their underwear that if you don't love your first pair, you'll get a full refund with their best pair you'll ever wear or its free guarantee. So hurry to TommyJohn.com/unleashed. Get 20% off your first order. TommyJohn.com/unleashed for 20% off your first order. Got some tweets here at Pat Unleashed. Barclay tweets, Governor Wolf allows gun shops to reopen on a limited basis during coronavirus pandemic after several Pennsylvania Supreme Court justices urged him to do so. Good. From Ted, been saying this for years. The reason women on the left assume that conservative men are pigs is because all of theirs are pigs. Michael E. Hoffman, keeping the sick home is quarantine. Keeping the healthy home is tyranny. Really good point. Wuhan over your freedoms? How's that Common Core working out for the quarantined students? Yay, government. Quarantined. And quarantined. From Piltown Posse. Tell Brittany, no, Puddin', we need to be practicing socialism distancing.
By the way, the kid who licked the deodorant, Pat heads are telling me that he's been arrested. What was it, a terroristic threat or something like that? I don't know.
What was a terroristic threat?
Licking the...
was it a terroristic threat?
Yeah. And I guess I don't know exactly what the charge was.
The kid with the deodorant was... Let's see. Are you the deodorant or the kid that licked the toilet?
The deodorant guy.
Yeah, the deodorant guy was arrested. I read that as well.
Well, I heard Judge Napolitano this morning talking about if you know you have this virus and you're doing that, then that would be a terroristic threat. But if you're just doing that and not knowing, so I forgot exactly what he said, but
that does make some sense. Yeah. But how are you going to know if they know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I came full circle fast.
Yeah, I did. Remember Moviefone?
Yes.
You used to call this line and it would tell you the movies playing in your area. Something that became obsolete, I don't know, 15 years ago upon the invention of the smartphone, probably.
Yeah.
But it was once worth a ton of money.
$33 million they valued it at in 1999 when it was bought by AOL, I believe.
No, in 1999, AOL paid $388 million.
$383. Wow.
$388 million. Yeah. Then in 2018, 2 years ago, Helios bought it for $23 million. So it had lost about 90% of its value.
It just sold for what?
$1 million.
$1 million, okay.
To an unknown buyer. Is it even worth that now? Seriously? So in 2 years, it went from 23 to 1 million.
Wow.
In 18 years, it went from 388 to 23. I mean, there's a business you don't want to be in. That's going the wrong way, boys and girls. That's not good.
I'm surprised Blockbuster didn't buy it. Right? I mean,
are they in a position to buy anything?
I mean, they're cutting edge.
I'm not sure Blockbuster can even buy a video right now.
Yeah. Blockbuster can't afford to purchase one DVD.
Or one of those VHS tapes. I don't think they could even buy those.
Really?
Yeah.
Even in the bargain bin?
No, they can't afford
$5
those.
for $1?
Mm-mm. Nope.
Okay.
888-900-3393. Much more to come.
Yeah, we got some sports news, right?
Yeah.
Got some important sports developments we got to get to.
We do. How would you like to have been the person who invented Moviefone and have sold it in 1998 for $388 million.
Wow.
And then 20 years later, it's sold for $23 million. 2 years after that, $1 million. Wow. What went wrong there? I think we may have figured it out. This is a good... Yeah, so that didn't work by, 2018. That didn't work anymore. I guess somebody moved it online, and in 2014, they moved it online. And it's still... I think it just points you to buying tickets. And so I don't know. Technology changed so quickly that Blockbuster, Hollywood, Moviefone, those kinds of things just couldn't keep up. And they were swept aside. Like the horse and buggy, a little bit, you know? 888-900-3393 and at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. We have this whiny British girl who is having a tough time with sheltering in place because, there's not a lot of restaurants open right now. And Layla. She complains.
Layla.
Gotta eat mommy's food.
Oh, man. Heartbreaking.
That's our kids today. No fast food. Oh, now you're just rubbing it in.
Where else did we eat? You can't get no McDonald's. I know. I'm really sorry.
I want Nando's.
I know, so do I. We could have had one more left.
Yeah, well.
Wow. There's some of the side effects of the COVID-19 pandemic right now.
Yeah, so no McDonald's, but Pat Head Eliza Kelly informs us that McDonald's is cutting back their menu because of the coronavirus.
Really?
Yeah, they're no longer going to serve breakfast all day.
They're not?
Right?
Why?
Right?
That's weird.
That's the fallout from the coronavirus.
Wow. I thought that was a big successful thing for them.
Right. I specifically remember 15 years ago, my dad and I got into it with McDonald's we were trying to order breakfast. It was like 10:42. And they were like, yeah, we're going to go ahead and switch. And they're like, we point up the menu, it says 10:45. And, it got ugly. But now it's an all-day thing. Nope, coronavirus took that away. But some good news, as pointed out here, salads going away from the McDonald's menu.
Wow.
So that's we found good news in the coronavirus aftermath.
Good. Yeah, I noticed at Central Market where they have, a big spread of salad and veggies, and you can put, all kinds of things on this. They took all of that out because obviously you don't want people coughing on the salad and then somebody getting the virus from the salad. So, they've
probably a case of nobody coming in there, right?
Maybe that.
How busy was it?
There's, there were some people in there.
Okay.
There's quite a few people in there.
Why are Dow futures down this morning, Pat?
Because that's going to happen like every other day now, at least. Every other day. Huh. The Dow's at 20,926 right now. So at least I think it went clear down to 18,000.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it was.
And so it's back up a little bit, but now it's down, 0.46%. So we'll keep an eye on that as well.
Oh, you know why? I think what just happened is jobless claim numbers just got released.
3.28 million weekly jobless claims filed.
Yep, there we are. There's
3.28 million.
There's your answer.
Ouch. So even though the Senate approved the big package, the bailout stuff, $2 trillion worth, but on the other hand, 3,280,000 people lost their jobs last week.
So if companies start calling their employees back now that they can pay for them through these government gifts.
Yeah.
Can they leave though if they're on lockdown? Does that just mean they got to work from home? Like not all these jobs are going to be work from home jobs. And by the way, lawyers are warning you to unplug your Alexa if you're working at home, sharing company inside information and secrets that that I just accidentally said the name of. The Amazon device sitting on your kitchen countertop could be picking up, and they would be recording some inside information about your company. So just be careful with that.
Interesting.
Yeah. So anyhow,
so many things you'd never even think about.
Right, but a lot of people are looping. They've got this, I don't know if it's an app or whatever it is. They can just loop to make it look like you're really there as a part of the meeting, and you can make it look like you're just sitting there paying attention. Yeah. So you just don't want to be nodding when they say something like, I really think we should terminate Keith.
Yeah, good idea.
So anyhow, there's a lot of fun stuff there, but that's the thing with all these job claims. If you can't get out of your house without being arrested, Chicago,
you can't even exercise outside your house.
And remember, we're not sure. It's an unanswered question if you're allowed to retrieve your mail.
Because it seems like the mailbox is usually outside.
Yeah.
Right? So you'd have to go outside to get the mail. I don't know. It's a tough one. Maybe somebody from Chicago could call us, let us know if you could actually retrieve your mail.
To recap, 3.28 million weekly jobless claims filed.
Which is probably why the Dow is down 170 points right now, before it's even opened. All right. Also in Australia, we've got a lawmaker. I'm glad we're getting back to this. This is good stuff because we said, where are the good times? Where are the good times of the gendered language?
We need normalcy, man.
The personal pronouns and all that kind of stuff. Where is that? Let's get back to that. Well, now we've mixed COVID-19 with the pronouns.
Okay, so we're working it back in.
Yes. Here's the Aussie lawmaker on the COVID-19 crisis.
Let us not forget that COVID-19 is a gendered crisis.
Nurses. What? I'm sorry.
Wait.
What?
You lost me at sentence 1.
It is a gendered crisis.
So does it identify differently?
Okay. It's fascinating.
Okay.
Nurses, nurse aides, teachers, child carers, and early childhood educators, aged care workers and cleaners are mostly women. Well, yeah, but there are plenty of men losing their jobs. The 3,280,000 weren't all women who lost their jobs last week. Wow. Is there more of this?
Let us not forget that COVID-19 is a gendered crisis. Nurses, nurse aides, teachers, child carers, and early childhood educators, aged care workers, and cleaners are mostly women. They are on the front line of this public health crisis and carry a disproportionate risk of being exposed to the virus. Let's also not forget that not all homes are safe places. Quarantine or self-isolation at home will put women and children at risk. Women's advocates and domestic violence experts are warning us that domestic abuse increases during times of crisis. And I'm terribly worried that these warnings have not been heeded by this government that has long resisted adequate funding for the needed resources and refuges.
Okay. Jeez. Let's also not forget that the vast majority of people dying from COVID-19 are men. Way more men than women. Way more. So, yeah, it is a gendered crisis. Thanks for reminding us. I can't. At least they brought it all, full circle here. At least we brought gender into the pandemic, which is mandatory. Now, if we could only bring race into it as well, that would be awesome.
Stand by. Somebody's working on that right now.
Okay, I hope so. Okay. I hope so, because I'd be really disappointed if this somehow doesn't apply as a racial issue as well. 888-900-3393. We got another iNASCAR event this weekend.
Yeah.
Scheduled for Sunday. The Texas Motor Speedway will be the home of this particular iNASCAR race.
Yeah, what is it? Noon Eastern, Ron? He's our go-to on NASCAR stuff. I guess they're going to start it earlier this week.
So they're all just getting on their simulators and driving around the track.
It was fun. It's
kind of cool.
Sunday. Yeah.
It looked pretty real too. I mean,
absolutely.
That was amazing.
And you gotta judge when to go to the pits, change tires, stuff like that.
It's cool.
It's fun.
Also, speaking of sports, Super Agent Scott Boras has an idea for the MLB season because obviously it's not gonna. What was the delayed time?
Today was it was supposed to start today originally.
Yeah, and then they delayed it to
Memorial Day. First it was April 6th. And then Memorial Day.
Now it looks like it's not going to happen Memorial Day either. So now Scott Boras says, yes, there will be the coronavirus delay, but he's figured out a season.
Okay, all right, I'm listening.
And they would play deep into the year, which means it would also involve a lot of neutral site games. We have it all mapped out, Boris said. It's workable. We've done climate studies, and in Southern California, the average temperature in December is 67 degrees, which is better than late March and early April in most cities. We have 11 stadiums we could play postseason games in.
Like neutral sites where it's warm. Okay.
I'm going to get my neutral site World Series after all, he said.
That's what he wants.
Boris has long been a proponent of playing the World Series, or at least the first 2 games of it, at a neutral site to give fans and corporate sponsors months in advance to plan travel, blah, blah, blah. In his scenario, the regular season would start either June 1st or July 1st.
Okay.
Then he mapped out plans for both. In his June 1st proposal, you'd get the whole 162 games in.
Yeah.
If it starts July 1st, it'd be a 144 game season, which is still that's pretty decent. 140, that's not bad.
I forgot, I think it's like 20 interleague games. I wonder if they would cut those out.
Both of his scenarios involve the postseason taking place in December, with the final game scheduled for December 26th. That means fans could get baseball on Christmas Day.
Okay, whatever, man.
But then you're running into
I don't care.
College bowl games.
I don't care.
You're running into NFL games.
Don't care.
No, you can't have baseball compete with football. It would lose terribly.
Oh, wait, are you an American?
It loses. Yes.
If I don't care if it loses, but do you like options? Like if it's the Pinstripe Bowl or World Series Game 4,
I'm watching the Pinstripe Bowl.
I don't care, but at least you have an option. Yeah. I'm watching the World Series.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Ugh. Unless Nebraska's in the Pinstripe Bowl, and then I'd pick that. I'll take any bowl, Nebraska. I don't care, any bowl.
Obviously, you're not playing in Chicago. You're not playing in Minneapolis. You're not going to play in
we
Boston.
Gotta find warm places, domes.
In November and December, because you just can't. So you'd have to. That would be expensive for everybody to go to a neutral site in the South for all their games. Yeah. All the games at the end of the season would. Let's see. Major League Baseball has not publicly revealed any plan.
Yeah, yesterday though. The commissioner just talked about all these options are on the table. One of the things Boris mentioned was possibly a 7-inning games on doubleheader days or whatever.
Oh, okay.
The commissioner said, "Nah, we want 9-inning games." So,
yeah, that's too high schoolish.
That's getting Little League World Series time.
Yeah. They have proposed. Some are thinking about an 81-game regular season begins around July 1st and a postseason in October. So. That wouldn't be that bad either.
What?
I mean, you got half the season.
No.
Half the season.
No.
Come on.
No, I'm ready for December 26th, Game 7. Seriously, I want the whole thing. Anyhow, I know it's impossible.
If you get any of it, you're going to be lucky.
Oh, you talk about Overton window. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Give me another couple of weeks, and I'll be like, 81 games. Cool. Whatever.
Right. I'll take 20 games. All right, we'll do 20 games and then start the playoffs.
I mean, I'll take Australian rules football at this point. Oh, no, that just got stopped too. I mean, seriously, give me something.
Yeah, literally, there's no sports going on around the planet right now. Is cricket even still going on? Because last week, somebody told us cricket was still being played. Of course, I don't know if that was...
I don't know, because India is on lockdown. All 3 billion of their people or whatever it is. Yeah, so I doubt it.
3 billion. They have about 1.4.
Sure. And then what was the other thing? Oh, Russia. Is the Russian basketball league still playing? Is Putin trying to act like Russia doesn't have any corona?
Oh, I don't know. Are they playing?
I don't know. They were.
That's impressive if they are. That's kind of going against the flow. Just a little bit, right?
Sure. Anyway, so let's get something. Let's just, we need something. And don't forget, we still have NHL and NBA got to finish their season and playoffs.
Right.
And you know how it used to be, like, it was very strange. It was like a full eclipse or whatever when all 4 sports were playing at the same time. I think we're going to get a lot of those coming up when we get things going again. We're going to have all 4 sports playing all at the same time around the clock.
Yeah, definitely.
Bring it.
All right. You know, there is still a Democrat presidential race going on. The primary is
that
still
right?
happening.
That's still a thing, huh?
Kind of forgot about that, but yeah, it is a thing. And Bernie Sanders is saying he still wants debates to happen. Joe says, no, you know what? I think we've had enough debates.
I bet he has.
I've had enough. And you got to believe he doesn't want to debate anymore. Why would he? Why would he want to debate? He's won this thing.
Besides, he's staying busy sparring with himself.
Yeah.
So he doesn't need any opponents.
So Sanders will appear at the Democrat debate if it happens. He might be alone on the stage. Because, again, Sanders says, nah, you know what? I think we've done this enough. And they've done it, 12 times? 11 or 12 times.
Wow.
He kind of has a point. Even if he weren't out to lunch right now, I would say that you've had enough debates. I mean, I think we can decide at this point. Mm-hmm. Okay, I get it. Bernie's a socialist. He hates billionaires and millionaires, doesn't think there should be any. I get it. I got it. I don't want to hear from it anymore.
Yeah. But now you might have somebody else that wants to get on that debate stage.
There's a draft Cuomo movement.
You saw this coming. You saw this coming 2 weeks ago when he started giving these great press conferences.
Democrats are publicly talking about contingency options for their July convention. Wow, would that even happen? Will you have a Democrat convention in July and risk having people with COVID-19 there? Hadn't even considered that yet till just now.
I'm sure that Joe Biden is hoping there's no convention.
Yeah.
He wants to lay low and just coast to November now.
Right. Just be appointed, okay, you're the guy.
You're the guy.
And then go up against Trump. Some Democrats are openly talking up New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, whose profile has soared during the crisis. It really has. They're talking about him as a Biden stand-in. Yesterday, a draft Cuomo 2020 account on Twitter account announced that the times have changed and we need Governor Cuomo to be the nominee. Our next POTUS must be one with an ability to lead through this crisis, and they think that's him. Charles Pierce, the politics blogger for Esquire magazine, wrote a piece headlined with 2 words. Andrew Cuomo established himself as the leader of this country needs right now. Wait, that's more than 2 words.
Yeah, what are the 2 words? I don't think the article even says it.
It does. Yeah. It starts out with 2 words. Andrew Cuomo established himself as the leader this country needs right now. I'm not sure if you can count.
Well, I mean, that's the title of the article, right? And if you're gonna put that phrase in it, maybe work on word economy with your titles too. You said that there's a Twitter account started up the other day. Draft Cuomo 2020.
Yep.
Okay, well, it's got.
How many followers does it have?
328. Gonna need a little more traction.
328.
Well, there's a Draft Cuomo that has 57 followers.
Ooh.
But I'm thinking it's the Draft Cuomo 2020 that you were.
Yeah, that's what I. Yeah, that was the
328.
No, that's not overwhelming exactly,
but
a little underwhelming, as a matter of fact.
We'll see what happens. It's a
and let's not forget, as good as he's looked and he's given some praise to the president. Let's not forget things like this.
We're not going to make America great again.
Mm-hmm.
It was never that great.
I mean, that even stunned Democrats who were there listening to him.
If he runs, Trump, there's your ad.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yes.
There is your ad. Just keep
good luck with that.
Buying that ad space with that audio, that video. That's it. That's all you need.
Plus, he's starting to show his nastiness again with Trump, too. So, it was short-lived.
Mm-hmm. And he didn't. He had the chance to buy much more to be prepared for this. And now the president is showing that report that we were the most prepared country for a global pandemic last year.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is really cool because the Democrats have been saying how awful this was and how little prepared, how ill prepared we were. I'm looking for who the author of that study was. Do you remember? I don't remember right offhand.
I have to find it. Yeah, but it was a big deal. I had to check.
Okay, U.S. ranked best prepared country in the world for the pandemic, and it came from Johns Hopkins.
I thought that. Okay.
Not exactly Fox News. United States was ranked the best prepared country in the world to face a global pandemic in a study released by the Nuclear Threat Initiative and Johns Hopkins Center for Health and Security in late 2019. In the findings, they were detailed in the 2019 Global Health Security Index. They challenged the claims made by Democrats in recent weeks that the Trump administration left the country ill-prepared and dangerously vulnerable to the spread of coronavirus.
Not true.
Not true.
We were ready
at all.
All 6 categories we ranked high. Yeah.
That's great. And of course, President Trump was holding a copy of the study yesterday at his press conference.
Right here. Do we have time for the mama and the puppies? You want a good feel-good puppy video in the midst of this corona madness?
Would I?
Aw, look, they're feeding the little mama puppy, but you know what? She cares about her little... Look at this. She goes and lets him out of the cage, lets them eat. How sweet is that? Look at that. Hey, save some for me. Excuse me. Save some for me. Look at this cute little mama dog watching her little puppies eat, and then they get done eating, and then she gets ready to eat. Now it's her turn. It's mama's turn. Wait, now the bowl's empty. I thought this was a feel-good video. Oh, come on, puppies.
Dog died 15 minutes later. What a sweet video. Thank you for that, Keith. That's great.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.